Good everyone, today was all about confidence building and discipline. I started the session watching PRTG and I had a solid entry planned at $9, around $9.75, $9.74, but I hesitated and missed it. Didn't push the buy button once again. And one, it was too early in the morning. It was like 6:40 or 6:45 around then. I hadn't even turned on my recording for the day. I was actually away on a trip for work, so I was trading in a motel and the internet wasn't great. So I had a couple of things that I was dealing with that I don't usually have to as well. But I had a bit of FOMO on that one. I did watch it go all the way up to 13.50. But then I also took a clean trade on DBVT. So let's break it down, see where I hesitated on PRTG and how I'm building my confidence going forward. So PRTG, what's the name of it? PRTG. Actually, if I bring that up on a chart, I think I've already got it clear. Here we are. So when I saw the stock, it had just come down from breaking the VWAP here around 6:30ish. I was still setting up in my motel room to start trading, and I was just trading off my laptop and using the TV in the room to show some of the charts, to have a few charts up as well. But I saw PRTG and I thought about taking a trade here when it started pushing back up in this area right here. So it had found some support here, came up, and look at pushing again over the VWAP, and then it pulled back. And this is where I thought I'd take an entry. I had it queued up ready to go in my platform, but missed the opportunity. It pushed up quite quickly and I didn't place the order. So hesitated on that. It pushed up through VWAP quite strongly, a few candles up, and then there were some micro pullbacks here as well that could have been an entry point, just in these candles here, topping wicks and stuff like that. But I was a little bit unsure. It had failed off this level here prior, and it had also pulled back here. Once it broke that level, it was quite good. But when it pulled back to here, there was another entry here at $10.20. I looked at taking, but once again, didn't pull the trigger. It was, not 7 o'clock yet. It was still before 7. What's the time on that? That's those candles there. That green one there is at 6:54, so it's still just coming in before 7 o'clock. I probably should have taken the trade in hindsight, obviously, but I sat on the fence again and it pushed higher. It pushed up to $11, broke 11, came back, pulled back down, and then pushed right through up to 12. And by this stage I was thinking, I should have gotten in. And now it's too expensive for me to get in. I could only buy 100 shares because of Trade Zero, I think, had a restriction on it maybe. And my account's not that funded at the moment. So, it was only allowing me to take 100 shares down here at $9.70, $10.20, up to about $11.50, I think I could still buy in. But up here at around, 12, $11.90, I had to reduce my share size even more. So I wasn't willing to do that. And then it pushed up to $13.50. So a little bit annoyed at myself for not getting in down here when I first saw it at $9.74. But the reality is that I don't think I would have held to $13.50. I definitely would have gotten out possibly here at $10.40, $10.50 around this first level here. There might have been a possibility I held into that next level around 11, but up to 11.50, 12, possibly not, probably not. So that was PRTG. I still hesitated getting in on this stock. I thought it was a bit too early. I wasn't even recording my video when I first saw it around 9.74. But once it came up here to 10.20, that was probably the next best opportunity to get in. I should have taken it there, but I didn't. I saw DBVT on the charts as well. So that was the second leading gapper on that time, and I had started my recording by this stage. So I took this trade. I'll just speed this up a bit. So I got in at 6.05. I saw it had a support level along this level around 6. So I put an order in at 6.05. I saw it pushing up here. It had some resistance along here around 6.14, 6.15. And I thought, there's a likelihood it'll pull back.
Executed.
And I got filled pretty much straight away. So I was in here probably a bit early, really. It was just after 7 o'clock. It hadn't really shown any signs that it was going to sell off. So I thought there was a good possibility that it'll push back to the VWAP and I'd take my profit at the VWAP. If it broke through, then I'd take it on the break and then look at getting back in if it was any good. But if I took it at the VWAP, that would be my trade for today. So I was still only taking one trade a day actually. So normally I'd look at buying back in, but today I was still on my recovery plan. And going forward, I'm still on my recovery plan as well. It's about rebuilding my account back to a place where I'm more comfortable in taking more trades and more risk. So at the moment, I am still in recovery mode until I get back one above my entry point. So at the moment, I'm actually below what I funded my account with, and I want to get back above where I funded before I really start trading again. And really I've taken a big loss because I was up $600 on the month, and now I'm more than likely going to take a red month, net wise anyway. Gross profit wise, I'm actually in the green for the month just, but net after fees and commissions, it's a red month. So I think I have to make about make about 300 back on the month basically. After this trade it was less obviously, but I'm still holding here, and then it decides that it's going to scare me and it's going to pull back. So it actually does pull back a fair amount. I'm just going to speed this up a little bit. It pulls back down past my stop, and I was like, no, it's going to dip. It's dipping, it's going to dip and rip. So it dipped down to about $46 a loss, and then it buys back up, and there's a bit of green coming back in, and now I'm not too worried. It's coming back up, and I'm feeling a bit easier about my decision to stay in. So if it dropped again, I probably would have stopped out, but it didn't drop again. It pushed up to resistance point around $6.12. And basically I was giving it a chance to break here. So I'm in early for the break. I'm not trading the break. So you possibly could wait for confirmation here, and once it broke that level of around 6.15, you could have waited for it to break that level and then bought in based off of the confirmation. So now it's had two chances at breaking that level at 6.12, and it's pulling back again. It hasn't quite got there. But if it didn't break this third time, I was going to get out and reset. Well, it probably would have been my trade for the day, and I would have just gotten out with a break-even trade. But it does eventually break here, I think it breaks on this time now. There's a bit of green coming in. It's pushing up to 609. Bit more green on the tape, 610. How fast is this tracking? 5 times 8. And there it goes. Breaks through. Good break, and then pushes even higher up to 630, 634, and starts pulling back. Has a short pullback here. It dips quite a bit, but it gets brought up pretty much straight away. So it pushes up to 634, then pulls back and is brought up pretty much straight away. And then in this next candle, it breaks through 634. And this is what I'm looking for, is the pop through 650 and comes through 650 and up through the VWAP to make a new high there. Pulls back. I push my order in on the ask, and as it pushes back to retest 680 and breaks through 680, I take my exit. Now I use my hotkey. My hotkey I didn't realize was set to only sell 100 shares, and I took a 200 share position, so I only sold half my order in that first sell order that I placed, limit order. So it filled my 100 shares, and then I realized I was still in 100 shares. So I hit my sell order again on the ask, which I got. My first one was at $6.78, and my second sell order was $6.77. So cent apart, but basically, you know, out at the same, pretty much the same price. So that was my trade for the day on DBVT. And I was quite happy with that trade. $145 in profit in the green, and I stuck to my plan of it pushing back to the VWAP. If it had failed breaking the VWAP, I would have taken my stop moved up to about 630. So I didn't want to get less than 630 on the trade. If it broke the VWAP, I was going to take around the high of that push, of that candle. So I took there. If it had pulled back and pushed again, that's as it is. But you know, I wasn't sure how strong this stock was going to be, considering the leading gap of PRTG had put in a big move, and was still, you know, there was still a bit of trading going on this stock between these, you know, 1246, 1350. So, you know, there was still a fair amount of trading volume going through it. And, you know, my trade had finished on DBVT here at 719. So, excuse me. So, good result in the end. Got my confidence, really boosted my confidence with that trade. Held well through it, and you know, I was pretty much done in, you know, a little under an hour of trading. So that was good. I had a job the next day that I had to get up early for, so it was nice to actually get a bit of extra sleep after that trade. So I didn't watch any more on the market. So I was one and done today. Sure, I missed a big trade on PRTG. And you know, I did feel that a bit. I'll have to be honest there. It stung a little bit seeing it going up to 1350. But you know, I executed a solid trade on DBVT, and that made me really happy. I pretty much executed it perfectly. Couple of things in there that I probably, you know, possibly my entry was a bit early. I could have waited for a little bit longer, you know, when it dipped, maybe getting in on that dip. But you know, and all in all, I was happy with the trade and how I handled it when it was resolving. I didn't get out too early. I stuck to my plan. My plan was to take it around the break of VWAP, and wherever that first sort of breakthrough went to, then that was my exit. And that's what I did. So it was great. What do you think? Do you think you'd take the trade on DBVT, or would you have you know, chased PRTG? Let me know in the comments. You know, if you're finding these recaps helpful, then hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next week. Ka kite.